Hi there, I'm Martha Van Dam and this is Living Beyond. Today is day 4 in our series where we're talking about the foundations of alive and vibrant relationships. And today we're going to talk about a topic that some people love and some people hate. And the topic is boundaries. Most people, if they are setting boundaries, if they're trying to protect themselves, they get into the idea of boundaries. They like it a lot. But the person who it comes up against that, the other person in the relationship who finds that their person is saying, no, they're setting some boundaries, that person who comes up against it tends to not like the idea at all. So please understand that boundaries are something that are foundational for strong and healthy relationships. Without solid boundaries, what we end up with are control issues. And you don't want control issues running the household. You really don't. There's nothing solid and strong in that. So what do boundaries look like? Boundaries look like, if it's me managing my own life, it looks like me making sure that I'm in charge of my thoughts, my words, my emotions, my actions. I'm in charge of that. And healthy boundaries means that I live in my integrity and I make sure that I am doing and saying the right things. Do we always do it perfectly? Oh, of course not. But that is our goal, and we have a mindset of, I need to be responsible with my life. The flip side of that is we also know that the other person is not responsible for my life. I don't need to rely, and I need not to rely on them to make me happy, make me feel better, do the things that are actually my responsibilities. No, I don't put that off on them. I take care of it myself. As we're looking toward our partner, then also what it means is we don't try to control our partner. Remember those thoughts, words, and emotions that we're managing of our own? They have thoughts, words, emotions, and actions as well. And they need to be free to manage their own thoughts, words, actions, and emotions. They are theirs. And while we affect one another, and while you affect your person, you don't control him or her. And healthy boundaries means we step back from trying to control each other. Now we may think that's easy to do. We may think, well, I don't want to be controlling about my person. But I think if you have not done much work on this yet, then you will likely find that there's a little intent to manage one another, and we don't realize that it falls in this category. So, have you ever found yourself leaving out a little piece of information, like maybe how much something cost, or how many items of something you bought, or what you had for lunch, or who you ran into at the store today, leaving out those pieces of information because you don't want your person to get sad or angry or worried or bothered? You see, in that moment, I want you to think about, has there been a time that you've done that because you didn't want your person to have emotions that were unpleasant or uncomfortable, but in effect, weren't you trying to control their emotions? They won't be, in effect, they won't be angry if I don't tell them. Well, that is trying to protect yourself from the unpleasantness that may come, but by not being forthright, it's also trying to affect what they hear and control how they are going to react. You see how we begin to slide in? And so another way that it shows up is your person is doing something you don't like. He's watching too much television, or he's on his phone too much. And so you keep bringing it up. You need to get off of that phone. You're wasting your mind. You're addicted to that phone. You're on that television all the time. We don't have any connection, you and I, together. You're just always on that phone. Well, actually, what you're doing is you're trying to control his phone use. Not yours to do. Absolutely not yours to do. So when we look at healthy boundaries, remember that you are responsible for your own thoughts, words, actions, and emotions. So as you are responsible for your own thoughts, words, actions, and emotions, what you may end up saying is, I would really like to spend some time with you, and I feel kind of alone when I'm in here with you and I'm trying to talk to you, but you're on your phone. You see, when you say that, you're saying, I feel alone. You're talking about yourself then. And you can even go so far as to say, I would like very much to connect with you. I'd like very much for us to sit and talk, but I don't feel like I'm a part of the conversation. I don't feel like I'm a part of what's going on here when you're on your phone. And at that point, what you need to do is step back and allow them to make the decision. They get to make this decision anyway, but not try to make it for them. See, bad boundaries or crossing boundary lines means you continue on to try to control what they do. But healthy boundaries is, I will state what is going on with me. I will ask what I would like to make it better. And that is me staying on my side of the boundary, and I will let whatever he does in response, I will not try to control or affect that. He will make the choices that he has the ability and the right to decide how he's going to respond. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time, if we even go so far as to say, I'm not going to try to tell you what to do. You get to decide what you're going to do. You're a free person. You get to decide for yourself. It would mean a lot to me if we could talk and you weren't on your phone. But I'm not telling you what to do. An awful lot of the times, just letting that person know I'm not going to try to manage you can be enough to make them realize I'm going to be in charge of this. Not always, but it can be. The idea of boundaries, we could spend weeks talking about this one topic, and we do in some of my classes. So this is not a thorough look at boundaries, just the surface level. But at its heart, boundaries is, I am responsible. It is my job in life. I am responsible for my life, for my thoughts, words, actions, and emotions. My job. Not his or hers or anybody else's, my job. And I am also not responsible for his thoughts, words, actions, and emotions. But it's real easy to want to drop off, I'm not responsible for his feelings. We have to be sure that I am being responsible, living in my integrity, and being responsible for my actions, and doing the best job that we can at it. So let's talk about that some more. Let's keep digging into what boundaries, healthy boundaries are, and how they show up in your life, in your relationship, either strong and healthy or kind of weak and could use some help. Please feel free to drop me a line. You can get in touch with me. You can DM me on any of the platforms, and I will be glad to answer you and glad to talk to you. Okay, thanks, and have a fabulous day, and enjoy very much looking for where are the boundaries in my relationships and my relationship, and how might I strengthen those. Thanks, and bye-bye.